I love that. That's so fun on the sound. My name is Jessica Holyfield, and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are here taking a look at Promisenine's track, Supersonic. This is a Patreon request. Shout out to Jay for the request. Jay is celebrating their 1 year on Patreon as an In the Pocket member, so we say a big thank you for this request, so make sure you drop it in the comments because we love a good recommendation. Now, with Promisenine, I don't believe I've seen any material from them, so this is technically my first watch, which makes me very, very excited. So we have a music video and then a dance practice and a little behind the scenes to enjoy together, so let's get into it. Pretty. This is fun. Good tone. I wish I could pull one of those bandos, right? Your girl could not. That was cool. The sparks were really cool. Wow. That's cool. That's super cool. Wow. Now, here's the thing. I love it whenever you see people dance in water. It's just really cool because like what your hair does, it's like a working paid actor. Do you know what I mean? Super cool, and it keeps them from getting too hot. So I like the functionality of it. Okay, dance practice. Let's go. We're not moving. I love it. With a ripple. Yes. Earworm, love it. I love that. That's so fun on the sound. Oh, yes, ma'am. She's giving main dancer energy right there in my center. I wonder if she is. I like how she sits in some of the choices. Cute. Love it. Fun. That's cute. Super cute. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 here. They're from us 9. I'm assuming they probably started as a group of 9 and then there's somebody who had a departure or there's a hiatus going on with an individual. I don't know. I am intrigued on learning more. Here we go from the top. From the top. So the fact that this entire intro, we're not moving, love it. Love it. Oh my god. Yes. And then from here, we start from our stage left side, travel it all the way down with a really nice extended leg. For me, I'm always here for it. If you have a baggy pant, it helps save from the extension because if you're wearing no pants, shorts, or leggings of any kind, it's going to create a really, like, we're going to see if you have a straight leg or not, right? So I appreciate if some of us are not as flexible as others. I don't know that. Remember, it's my first time watching them. This is a really good way to kind of hide it, right? We love it. And then from there, we immediately switch the feet and we use that to come up. One of our legs bent. And I love this little extra bleed up coming up from the pull of the sternum to make it a fun little arch moment. And then we all melt out of it from back to front. So we did travel from the stage left side over to the stage right side. We went wee, wee, wee. And then she started it back. Wee, wee, wee. And then we went back, middle, front. Oh, all day, baby. I can watch that mess. Let's go. Let me get ripple. And then they do a little body roll. And then they use that second body roll to come right back up. Let's go. Then we take it, we bleed the energy up, we trace to the side of the head, boom, boom, accent with the elbows, come on now. And then everybody drops and they let their head go up except for your feature. Why? Because she's singing, she don't need to do it, right? But they're doing it, we love it. And I like how they go and they swim it and trace it down the sides. I call that my deodorant, deodorant trace. We have 2 pieces of deodorant and you are getting nice and smelling good. When you get sweaty. But anyway, so we go and drop down. I really like the different layers and levels of this. Different choices were mirrored and balanced. Thank you for that. I like how we have our front row. They are nice and squatted. And then I have our feature nice and attaching to the arms. Really fun choice. I like that we have a contrast of levels with the angles at the top. And then I like how we have our arms across and we're looking to front. Really cute. And a little boom, boom. Nice little syncopation of the chest. Really cute. And she goes da, da, da. Really nice. They have really good tone. There wasn't anybody that sounded a little bit like off-putting because you know sometimes you'll encounter a group and you're like, there's just somebody's tone, they're just not my vibe. And that's okay. Like you're allowed to feel that way. For me, everybody sounds pretty decent. Like I could listen to this again. Do you know what I mean? That's a good group. Anyway, good balance. So I like how she goes and I like how she swivels the hips to bring them to the back. She brings that energy up nice and strong. Having 2 people complement her on the sides is really fun. Then you have your group of 3, group of 2. Well, technically you have two on each side and then you just had your feature previous one walk away. So I like the fact that it's mirrored. Thank you for that. I like the little boom accent right there with the hip. I think is what we were doing. Oh, we just do a little kick there. She takes her arms up and then she goes like it's like a little perfume moment, right? Do we have subs? No, it's okay. Dun, dun, dun. We have a nice little just tap with the finger, super cute. Then it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Really fun way to get everybody on the same page. Now, we are low-key sacrificing a member to the back, but we did just see her features, so I'm not as bothered by it as a lot of times I do end up seeing. So, because she immediately just gets out of the way. Less than an 8 count, right? So totally fine. The new feature, I like they all had a little contrast with their arms extended. They've hit da-da-da up, in, and then from here, nice and properly placed, they go and frame to the inside, accent point to the inside to recognize your feature. She's in center. We love it. And now, we do have a lot of walking away. So that would be an interesting observation we're seeing here is that we're not having our feature integrate themselves back to the formation as often as what I'm normally used to seeing. We're seeing them just kind of have their moment and then walk away for the next section. Could be because you're operating with an even number group here in this case, so you want to maintain symmetry, and so whenever you have one person walk away, you now can have a symmetric moment with a 1-point feature. So that could be the reason why we're doing that. I don't quite know, but that's life. I like the Colin, so I like how they all branch that to the inside, and then you have your moment with your feature, getting them to a straight line, which is nice, and then they travel it across, then they go and they end up switching the hands. So I like the intention of the arms or the hands, and then we go and reset to the other side. And we flick it is also really nice, letting that little hip have its moment. And then we have our hands and we fold it over. So I really like the choice with these fold overs, and the hips are really nice on that choice too. That's ta-da, and I like the arm extended up, and then we're resting there into the hips. There's also a really nice new feature, comes from the back, really nice. So that's a good moment there. Creating partners, we love that, and that's the benefit of having an even number. It's everybody gets to contribute. So I like how one of my ladies, she is just tracing over the top as our feature. Everybody else is using their head. That's fun moment. And we have a bevel with the rest of our ladies, nice and standing, nice and strong, super fun. And I like the clean line so we can see that visual very clearly. So they take their arms, they have a nice little accent point happening there. Then we have this moment here where they created an archway, and we have some of our ladies step underneath it, which is cute. And I like how it's kind of a mirror, but they're, you know, they're like cleaning a mirror almost. It's kind of fun. And they hit it down, boom, da da da. So I like they go down, bring it up, and it's just hit. Oh, and I like this part so much on the sound. Ah! Ding! Oh, that's so cute. Okay, anyway. So I like from there, they step, we're about to do a box step, but we end up turning out of it, which is really cute. We press up, really fun, clean line out of that, really nice. And we go, it hits, so it's syncopated hips on that. Oh, I love it. Great accent point on the right side. And they end up doing it twice, and then we end up rotating the inside, so we create our diagonals on the outside. They're nice and clean. We love to see that. And it goes, hit me up. Yeah, hit me, swing it. Then we're gonna create a nice little pulse going into the chest. Hit me up, and we brush it to the side. And then we have a little extra swim through the arm on that too. We clap out of it, hit, and we pull opposite of our body to our hand. So that looks really nice. So we take energy and we create this nice speed change on that. Looks great. And we have this little moment here. Now, I like this moment here. Bah! Fantastic accent on the hips. It's great. And then they have a little speed change on the direction with the hip too. And it goes figure eight. Ah, it's really, really nice because I know nowadays, I think this is newer, right? It's like a more recent one of Frommis9. And I think that there are things that have come out in the past couple of years that I've noticed just from the different groups that I've had the privilege of seeing with the female groups, girl groups. They have a lot of syncopation that happens with the hips. I would say Kany, Kany. We've seen her do shiny stuff. We've seen her do Viviz stuff. You've seen her with Bad Villain, other groups. There's a lot of like heavy hip integration. I don't know who choreographed this, but I would say Kany's made a pretty decent dent when it comes to the hip fingerprints of movement quality in the K-pop scene. So all that to say though is that being able to showcase that element in a way that's not redundant to what we're familiar with, where it doesn't feel like we're copying, which to me it's such a topic we could get into, but seeing how it can be flavorful to your track and to you as a group, but it still like maintains you. Now I don't know who they are really that much, and so I couldn't tell you if this is on the brand of what they're used to doing or if it's completely different. Couldn't tell you, which is fine, which makes it fun. But they look pretty good at making these choices, like the figure eight, the speed change and the tension on it looks really fun. Having the boom, 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 that's the stickiness of the previous one. It actually ties into their music video quite well in the kind of scenes that they were choosing to do. So all that to say, I'm here for it. We like it. It looks great. Show me right now. Now, if I were to pick a main dancer, I would say, I mean, the person who did this choreo, I think the most full and rested very genuinely in the movement sequences, I would have to go to my girl right here. Right now, it just goes back to, because I haven't marathoned them, I don't know anything about them. I have no idea, right? Nothing, which makes this so fun. I could not tell you if this is a new piece of information or not, and that will influence who's going to stand out, because there's certain eras that certain members can stand out in, depending on who the choreographer is, if it's different, same, the type of vibe you're going for, the type of tone and sound, because you have concept shifts all the time in the K-pop scene. So, all that to say, I don't know if she's your main dancer, but she's giving main dancer energy here, so give her flowers, give her a cookie, and give her a coffee. We love it. Okay, new feature right here, over here in the front. Now this feels like a guada guada, but it's not really, because that lower body doesn't quite have the accents in play, or the fullness of the weight that you normally see in that bounce in a guada guada, but the upper body has it, which I really like. So I like how we're placing and shifting the weight, and we have the isolation of the chest with the arm to complement. Then we have the arm circling around. I like the scuff around too, looks really cute. And we go uppercuts, which is really cute, making the hips also match the fullness of the arms. Looks great there. And they use that to help transition to a new spot. And look how clean the lines are. Ugh, we're melting. Same thing again, and super. And I like how they, and they let the range equate for that. Beautiful. And then they go do it again, supersonic in place. So they go hip, and then they let the hinge of the torso also play a role in that too. Looks great. They point, it's nice. I like how we have our chin, boom, pressed up, and then we do a little dragon. Looks great too. And they hit out, boom, and then we're doing a little weight shift, and we're coping with the heat a little bit, right? And I like how she has her hand up. Why? We get to see her as our feature there. It's super fun. Then they do a little hip moment there. They switch it up just like you saw in the beginning, right? So saw in the beginning of the chorus, and we're seeing it at the end, but this time they're facing a different direction, so it's a different focal point, right? So the hips, but not the front, but the back. She goes supersonic, and I like from there, she uses that to transition into a straight line, a column, and then she's there, nice and presented, and then we have a new feature come out, and she swings it out and around. Now, she has a pretty stiff torso, so she could be deemed more of a vocalist in that role, or a visual in the role, more so than a main dancer. The reason why is because she's not using this in her choices. A lot of times when you see range choices like this, where you shampoo or you accent out or you swing with the shoulder, you normally see the chest follow it naturally. This is a natural thing. So because she's doing the moves, they feel very isolated to the arm in comparison to letting the back or the chest get involved. So that's why I'm thinking, I don't believe she is a main dancer, which is okay, but that's how, like, hopefully I'm letting you in on what I look at when it comes to who can I see as having a natural ability to sit in the type of choreo that we're given. Those are the things I look at, right? So that's cool. Then they bring it up, da-da-da, boom, and we drop it down. I really like the cleanliness of the diagonal. Oh my God, the formations are so freaking pretty. Oh, we love it. Then we have a new feature of here at the top, and then she travels a little swim there, and then they all branch out, so it goes from one person branches out from her, turns into 4 people, and then they grab her, and then she waves it through with her fingers. Thank you, Miss Ma'am. We love a good entrance to exit wave with the fingers to match. Love it. So I like this little moment here. It does give a little disco vibe, doesn't it? It's cute. So from there, I like how everyone's joining in that's over on this diagonal, but everybody else is going nice and low. So it's polyrhythms through delegation. So you have this flow in the back. Then she's having her moment. She has a little group over there that's not around her, which I find to be very fun, and it actually creates great separation. So you have a group that's justifying what she's doing. We love it. But we have this group that's created as a barrier between your feature and everybody else. Because I will tell you, if you had these ladies right here doing what she's doing, it would be harder to see your feature. This is a very clear way to help me focus on who you want me to focus on. I love it. Yeah, I love that they drop it down and they bring it back up. A nice little moment, wordplay choice there. I'm assuming that's a wordplay choice. And then we go and we create a fun little transition, and we drop the level to help create a contrast. Super fun. And then I let the trot with the toe tap. Super cute. And we turn really nice. And then we bring it around, and then we go, boom, you better kick it. And then we present our hands, and then we create a fullness in our chest. Really nice. I wonder how tall she is. She's giving like 5-foot energy. I love it. She's small but mighty. She really gives that impression. She reminds me of Buki height and stature, like the whacker. Oh my God. Anyway, I love this moment though. She's so feisty in her movement. It's fun. Bringing it around. She goes, boom, come on now. And they body roll down, and then we present our hand up and around. I really like the mirroring on that because it creates a really fun, contrasting mirrored moment, right? So fun. The slow walks up, we go, and then we reset. Guys, I love it when transitions matter. Transitions matter so much, and we get to see them in the fixed cam. This is great. Fantastic. I like how my feature, she accents her arm out. Why? I can clock her even though she did the same thing as everybody else. Looks great. Then she presents her hand and she goes, twinkle, twinkle, come on. And look, they're walking on tempo. I love me a good walk on tempo. That is probably one of my favorite ways to get to your next formation outside of doing content that's very tasteful in transitions well. It's just walking on tempo. Every single part of your composition matters, not just the parts you want me to look at if I was just in a performance video, right? This is great. Thank you, choreographers and performance directors. Cheers to you for that. Now we're in an inverted V. which is nice. So you have the two diagonals and then you have your two sharing the center. Looks great. And they use that. I love how they kind of do a little, just a, not militant, but as you know how sometimes you see like a jazz square or a box step, instead of doing it just in the content, you're using the formation to create that transition like a box step. It's cool. And so I love that. Boom. And guess what? Ding. Come on. Ah, ding. Eat. From there, they take it, they unravel, front, back. And I like the hinge over is nice. Hit me up. Then they do a little trace. Good tension on that with the rock back. And they clap down. It does feel like new choreo, doesn't it, right? Or maybe it's the same. I don't know. I don't think it is. It doesn't feel the same. But the rotation, or maybe I was just focusing on different things. Maybe it's that. But I like the rotation with the accent point is great. Yeah, that's the same. We love figure eight, but different formation. Nice. Yeah, right now. Oh, she said full out. Let's go. Super. And I love that. Subtle formation changes out there in the front. Supersonics. Yep. And I like the opposition where you have two of your ladies facing front, everybody else facing back. Looks great. Now, tell me right now. Tell me now. Supersonic. Love that. And then from there, I love the bleed going on here. She traces up. And everybody does a little switch there with those subtle arch. Come on now. And I love how she extends it over to the other side. They do a nice little pick up of the leg, as one does. And then she does a little trace at the top of the arch. That's a fun thing. I think the last time I saw that was literally yesterday when I looked at D-League, and it was Kilo from Katakawa Dreams. He did that on a cage, so that was really cool. So it's just really fun to see that little trace overlap, but she didn't even look when she put it there. Come on, trust. She drops down, and I love that everybody, boom, pops her energy and pops her focus to the front. It's fun. This is fun. Now, I'm going to be honest, this type of track does feel like how the choreo is structured and the locations, not locations, but the kind of vibes it was giving did remind me a little bit of Sticky by Kiss of Life, but like in the family tree, extended family. We're not going to say they're like the same. They're not. It just gives that same kind of vibe of the hips and how we're syncopating them. It's just fun. But I know that one has more of like a Tyla water vibe. This one I like just the syncopation. It's just fun. Anyway, I like the boom, boom, boom. I like the little extra bounce and rigidness that they added to that. Really fun. They switch out the steps up on the legs, and look what they're placing the weight onto those legs, and then we create it up and around, boom. And I like the pop. Nice accent there. And we pull out of it, which is also nice. They turn out of it, and I like her shampoo. And we swim those arms because we can, and we go hit out. We love that choice. We go across, bring it in, and then we extend it to the outside. And then we grab our hair, have a little moment. Okay. Then we go hit me up. And we swing it around. We go hit me up, and we do a nice little just a rotation with our wave. It's nice. We clap out of it. Look at that, Miss Ma'am. Boom! Shoulder flexibility with the hip all day, baby. And then we have a fun little hip accent there. Come on now. There's your hips. Love where we're pulling on that. So I like that we're letting the weight shift as we're shifting it over. And we're being mindful of our knees too. We're not forcing them to the inside aggressively. We're letting it follow the track of the foot. Thank you for that. And I like having your feature pop up in the back. She goes, show me right now. We flick it up. And I like the diagonal. Super cute. Supersonic. And she goes, woo, here we go. We love it. And then we have our moment with just soloists, and they all make individualized choices, which we love, different contrasted levels. And we come up, and we take it over, boom, nice little trace up. And now we go, and we take our energy, and we're nice, little subtle shove over with the chest. Is super fun there. Right now, we take it up, and we bring it down, and then we move forward, and then welcome to, what is it? It's not even like a soul train. It's like, look at us. It's like a model walk. It's like, here's our entire collection, right? I love that. Super cute. And we're here. Nice poses. And we look to the front. Cute. Such a conservative way to not look out of breath. Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed watching that. It was very satisfying. It was clean. The visuals of the formations were stunning. I love me a good spaced out formation. The diagonals were eating. Okay. So we have a behind the scenes here. So I guess I get to figure out who choreographed it. Yeah? Here we go.
자고 있어. 오늘 연습하면서 풀리겠어?
That's how I feel too.
머리 안 먹어서
Yeah.
머리가 너무 힘들어. 머리 감수는. 아, 머리 감수하는 게 너무 계속 묶어야 돼.
I feels like ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's cute.
활동이 거울 셀카. 살짝 뭔가 너무 밝은 컬러는 아닌데 약간 별로써 뭔가 약간 파워풀한
That's cute.
초음속을
I'm actually shocked that I'm seeing more and more Apple products on K-pop affiliated material. It's crazy. 세럼.
할 말 있어요. 저 머리가 오늘 젖어 있어요.
And why is that?
바로
Uh,
연습 때
I've been there.
땀 어디서 사기를 오늘 연습을 한 7시간 정도 했더니 땀에 다 젖어가지고 아우 더러워 이래서 거짓말 쓰면 안 돼요? 플로버네 진짜 믿을 수도 있어 오늘 아니야 무슨 날이었냐면 오늘 스춤을 촬영하고 왔습니다 그래서 오늘 웻 헤어를 해가지고 아직 젖어있어 손좀 다듬어줬어 응 하나는 남았어 이게 근데 원래 송하영 아닌가? 아 있구나 이거는 원래 SHY였는데 지금 SY만 남아서 서연이야
소연. Cute.
서연
소연.
나도 이름 새겼어요 이름?
I love we can't even see it. There we go. Star.
to be a star 먹고 있자 자 내가 뽑을게 하나 둘셋
That's really cute.
아니 오늘 뭐라고 하셨어요? 안무 처음 배운 날로 하자니까 안무 처음 배웠는데 천재들이어가지고 쌤이 보여주면 바로 따라주고
저희 아직 아무 안 배워서 오늘 처음 배우는 날이거든요.
Okay.
수춤을 찍고 왔어요. 저희 오늘 수춤에서 라이브 클립 찍고 왔어요.
Of course, that's what members are for, are sitting on them, obviously. Her eyelashes are really cool. I'm assuming they're you know how you can like get lashes put on? I don't know if they're fake eyelashes, but they're like, I forgot what that's called. Like you can go somewhere and get them done.
하러 갈게 하고 둘 시작 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 8 and 1 2 3 4 일어나 둘셋넷
나이스.
야 너무 잘 맞아. 내 맘속 그리고 그 새로미가 약간 이거를 그어주는 느낌이라고 생각해.
아
이해했어? 예. 그어줘. 그어줘. 고개를 안 들게요.
Not with your head.
둘, 셋, 네 맘.
You know why I told her not to use her head is because there was somebody else complimenting her in the angles, and by her using her head, it's going to make the other member have to move her head in opposition, and it doesn't work with the flow of that section. So that's very interesting, right?
고개. 그렇지. 시작.
Bye! Bye! Oof. Groaning. I was about to say something. Guys, that's so real. Just because you're like, this is your track and this is your choreo doesn't mean that your body likes doing it. Does that make sense? Because for me, there's certain choreos, especially when you have to go to the floor. For me, again, being in my late 20s now, going to the floor really will just take so much out of you. And I'm like, can we just do choreo where I'm standing, right? So I really resonate with that. I don't know how long they've been around. But yeah, this was really funny. Like, he's like, are we grandmas? I have said that to my students before because they're like 14, 15 and they're doing like choreo and they're on the ground and you hear this, ooh, as they're getting up. I'm like, come on, we cannot do that because your judges will hear you. And that is so the opposite of what you want. But in the practice, like, this is really funny. It's so funny. Low key, if you didn't know what this was, this right here, 2anyone, this was their call sign that they would do. Just like ITZY, this is ITZY's, right? This is 2anyone's. So I like that they have that. I'm assuming that's 프로미스나인's vibe. Hey, I'll appreciate it all day long. Let's go. I'm assuming he's a performance director.
일단 모두가 완벽하게 한번 해보자.
That's a given. Let's try to be perfect this time. I know they means well and it's fine. I never tell my kids to be perfect unless it's a joke because you can't. And so for me, I always tell them, I'm like, let's be better than we were before, or let's do our best this time, or let's just do better. Like to be jokish, because I've had that before where people give feedback and they're like, just do better, just fix it, you know? But it's so not productive, right? It's like, this sucks, do better. How, right? So I understand that. He's like, let's do it perfect this time. I know they're not taking it like we have to, you know, if we make a single baby mistake, we're gonna die. But I know they want to be very efficient with this run through so they don't have to do it again. At the end of the day, if you don't make any mistakes, you don't have to do it again. And that's what they want. They just want to go home. Somebody gonna make a mistake? Let's see. From the back so you can see everything. Look at the number line. Oh, yes, let's talk about this. So it's because this is the first time with 프로미스나인, there's some individuals where this may be your first video with me. So this right here that's going to be your center. So that's where they line up, that's 0, and then the 1. So whenever you see people communicate, they may say 1.5, which would be in the middle between 1 and 2, to say 2.5, or they would say on the 3. This is really good reference to have it on the mirror. I really like that, honestly, because it allows, like, not everybody can see the floor, right? But on concert stages, having the numbers on the floor are really effective because you ain't got no mirror. But in the mirror, like, that's great. So that's what those are for. And the reason why they shoot it from the back is so you can actually see everybody, because if you notice in dance practices, they don't shoot it in the same way that they rehearse with the mirror because it's not deep enough to get the camera back to see everybody. So that's why they shoot it the opposite, where it's really wide and short, so they flip it. So now they have to recalibrate, but also it allows you to actually know it better because you don't have the mirror to reference. And then you shoot from the back so you can see what it looks like from the front. That's what the mirror is your front, if that makes sense. So I shoot from the back. I shoot from the back 9.9 times out of 10. I shoot from the back. Very rarely will I shoot something from the front because it's also a reference for me to know if I have to relearn the choreo, like at the studio. I need a mirror so I can just copycat myself like I do when I mirror K-pop, like when I do a K-pop cover, right? So that's such a standard. Like that is what you do, is you film from the back. Rarely from the front, unless it's for dance practice.
돌고 두 번째 때라도 파트인 사람 빼고 그냥 우리끼리 한 번은 아이 컨택이 뭔가 제대로 이루어지면은 더 재밌을 것 같은데.
Her visuals are very pretty. I mean, they're all pretty. Don't get me wrong. But this vibe, she's such a cool vibe right now. Show me right now. Oh, do you know what those are? Those are airhead strips. Those are really magical, but if you want to one-up that, because they're like this big, you can get the tape. It's like this long. I love those. Those are genuinely good. Those are fantastic. Oh. 5-second rule. Eat it anyway. See, they're so happy, right? Because you only had to do it once. You want to I'm gonna be honest, you want to motivate people faster than anything else. Tell them, hey, if you do this run through right, you can go home early. Oh, they're gonna get in their spot and do everything and be so attentive to your words so quickly. They will do anything for 5 minutes early, 10 minutes early. Especially when they've been at the studio for like 5 hours, 6 hours. I don't want to lie on the floor. He's fun. Whee! That's cute. And I love how it's no longer a circle.
근데 나 진짜 열심히 한다고 느낀 게 뭔지 알아? 나 이거 얘기할 게 있어. 왜냐면 나 엄마랑 같이 자고 있는데 갑자기 벌떡 일어나가지고 무빙 찍어야 되는데 이래. 진짜. 진짜. 나는 기억이 하나도 없는데 나를 깨우더니 뭐라 했나 이래.
What you just say?
무빙 찍어야 되는데 이랬대. 내가 나보고.
나는 이렇게 일어나.
That's funny. That's funny. Every step I take, I go like this. That's good. That's funny. This is a fun little side note. This is really funny, but what's interesting is that, so when I was teaching breaking to one of the studios I'm with the kids, when we were doing I think we were doing CCs, which is where you pick up the foot. It's a move that you do on the floor. And what's really funny is we would be like, you know what? Instead of everybody just yelling at each other in real life, we should just break. Like, I was telling them about the history of battle culture for breaking, and so they're like, so yeah, we can get in an argument and then we can just, oh my gosh, what do you mean? Like, and we would CC and we would break and to each other as conversation, and it really does alleviate and provide a really funny atmosphere, but it also helps you retain what you learn too by applying it to your day-to-day like that. So I love that, but also it is helping them remember it, not gonna lie. Right? That's so funny.
시작. 스웨디, 스웨디. 오케이. 뛰면서 볼까? 둘.
근데 진짜 키가 딱 맞는 오버를.
여기서 어쨌든 골반 있어요?
스웨디, 스웨디.
So no hips, no hips.
5, 6, 7.
It's a feet thing there.
그렇지. 오케이. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 내려.
He's a cleaner. That's who he is. Hey guys, give him his flowers. He's a cleaner. What he's doing is he's going through the nooks and crannies of this routine to make everything clarify, but also listening to them to see if they have any suggestions on certain sections. Let me tell you, the unsung hero in most cases are going to be your cleaners, which is his job right there. Because you know why? They're in a rehearsal space for 7 hours. They get to be in the public eye, and they can make lots of money for being, you know, a public figure. And they get to do these dances in the spotlight on stage. Your cleaner is in the room with them for the same amount of time, but they get nada. They get like a salary, which is dope, but also, do you know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to the girls, they're working super, super hard, supersonic hard to be in the music videos, studio tune, performances. Your cleaner doesn't get credits like the choreographer does, like a performance director does. I mean, sometimes some people play multiple hats and you can get away with that, but you're not going to see somebody put cleaner and then put somebody's name. Like that's not, like whenever I clean choreography, which when I do this for competition sets and routines, my name doesn't go on the routine at some studios. It's I clean the choreography on behalf of the choreographer, even if I change a lot of it, if it needs to be changed for the amount of time that we have for what we have to work on. So all that to say, people like him are one of the reasons why you have groups this clean, because it's low-key a subtle sacrifice where he's given up. Not, you know, he doesn't get as much credit as other people on the team do, but he's in the trenches with them, which I appreciate people like that. I have a high respect for it.
좋은데 이해할 때 이렇게 내려가는 것보다 나오는 게 더 중요할 것 같은데 지금 다들 약간 앉으려고 하니까 뒤로 빠지거든요.
Dynamics, boom. Hips.
오케이, 우리 여기 바이바이 사이드 한번 해볼게요. 수영이 조금 더 내려가 볼까? 더 내려가 볼까?
저 제일 섹시해. 뭐야?
네. 그렇지. 오케이, 우리 2절 여기.
Supersonic! Look how they're shooting it. It's because you need the room. This isn't the official take.
말하지 않아도 알 수 있어
전달해줄 수 있는 게 확실히 있으면 좋을 것 같다고 생각을 많이 해요. 이 영상 보면서 보여주자, 우리가 좀 전달해주자, 너를 우리에게 뭐 구해준다 이런 메시지가 있으니까 그런 거에 맞게 우리가 좀 표정이나 이런 거에서 좀 액팅적인 걸 보여주면 오히려 조금 더 이 분위기가 잘 전달될 것 같거든요. 이런 거 좀 생각하면서 개인 파트 할 때도 그렇고 만들어 주시고 연습해 보시고 하시면 너무 좋아요. 알겠죠? 할게요.
Okay, so I've been in that position where I have told my dancers, this is what your intention is, da da da, and they would say, okay, cool, great, and then I would actually follow up because I've been learning. Sometimes they just say yes and they don't actually know what I'm saying, and so I would follow up nowadays with, do you understand what I'm talking about? Repeat it back to me. And I make them have to repeat it back because sometimes they're like, I don't actually know what you mean. Because I'm like, how can you do that in your solo? It's not a, you need to do it and focus on it. It's a, how can you do it? Because sometimes I'm like, yeah, I'll try it, but then I don't know how to do it. Does that make sense? No, I'm not saying that, once again, first time with Promisenine. I don't know their background, I don't know their training or anything like that. So there's a chance that they have trained with this instructor or with whoever enough to know when somebody says that they actually understand it, because over time, that's just what happens for me. I don't have to ask it as often nowadays compared to how I used to. Or the girls are more honest when they don't know what I'm asking for, because I've provided the space for them to feel okay with being honest about not knowing something. Because in the competitive environment, it is really hard to feel comfortable enough to speak up and say, Miss Jazz or whatever, I don't understand what you mean. Can you word it in a different way? Like, knowing you need that. That's a really interesting skill set as a dancer to learn how to do. And in some spaces, you're not given that permission, right? So it's a tricky thing that being a dance instructor, you have, you know, that kind of control in the space to shift and shape the environment however you want it to be. So for me, I encourage that, because I find that there is some trust that he's giving to them, which at the end of the day, they're the ones that are going to be under the scrutiny or the success of the song. Like, people are going to criticize or they're going to compliment them, not him, but them. So there's a higher responsibility that they have. So whenever he sets them up for success, they, you know, I'm assuming that they know what they need to do as a group because they've been around for a while, on how to do that, right? So whenever I'm talking about my situations, whenever I encounter this type of thing with feedback, normally it's with younger dancers or dancers who are not in a space where they normally are provided with critical thinking, like thinking through what I'm saying. Not most of the time, they just get talked at and then they just have to absorb and just kind of fake it till they make it, right? So that's why I find that a very interesting interaction, because I used to just leave it like that and they're like, yeah, let's go, good job everybody. But now I push a little deeper to actually get results, and it's worked, at least in my neck of the woods. So I'm curious if what kind of situations happen in these spaces. Look how happy they are, they're done with practice. I'm telling you, doesn't matter if you're a professional or not. When you're done with rehearsal, you're done with rehearsal and you are excited. Cute. They're taking lots of brain breaks, which is good. It's good.
연습한 척이 아니라 연습해봐. 카메라 급하게. 뭐야, 지금 연습하고 있잖아.
이렇게 찍어야 돼. 원래 자기 쓰는 것처럼 그 옷으로 덮어.
내가 왜 이렇게까지 해줘야 되는지 모르겠다. 제가 이렇게 살아요, 여러분. 있는 줄 알고 열심히 하고 있어.
That's funny. That's funny.
이거는 맞고 찍으시는 거예요?
Do you have permission to film here?
맞고 찍으시는 거 맞아요?
That's funny.
셀카 찍는 중. 아니, 언니 연습하는 거 아니야?
끝났어.
아, 벌써.
끝났어.
자리 잡는 거 얼마나 걸리는지 체크하는 해줘야
Now that's a guada guada. Those are so, you see what I mean? Like, water tear. literally me. Yo, those shoes that my girl has back there, those are chunky. Chunky shoes. It is a different intro.
그러고 한 다리로 일어나야 되잖아. 오른 다리로. 일어나면. 이거 알아? 그래서 저기 올려야 될 것 같은데? 하나, 둘, 셋. 아, 오케이. 이거 진짜 신기하다. 근데 펴야 되지.
Whoa.
투표하는 거야?
That's cool.
나 하고 있는 거야.
I'm doing it right now.
나는 그냥 못할 거면 안 하는 거야.
Ugh, the struggle.
근데 체험.
와.
안 되겠다. 난 언니가 되는 게 아니야. 나 뭐? 필라테스 해. 그게 나는 그냥 필라테스 때문에 안 돼. 어떻게?
어떡해.
어떻게 되지 않을까? 오! 이거 어떻게 하는 거야? 아니 완전 좀 근데 처음에 이렇게 진짜? 우리 지금
For the first time in 8 years. That's funny. She didn't look at herself at all.
슈퍼. 여러분 슈퍼 한번 봤습니까? 고개 좀 쓰면 좋을 것 같아요. 슈퍼.
She's doing a guada guada, and everyone else is not.
슈퍼소닉. 둘, 시작. 2월이 뜨거운 열기 끔찍한 거네. 이거
Side note, if you were curious, my girl right here, how her hair is, I'm getting some extensions here soon where my hair is gonna be about that long. I'm a little excited. I can't wait to look that cool. I've always wanted to have extensions. Right, no, for real. Girl, but she chose to wear platforms. So yeah, it's gonna be harder to get up. Cute. 화이팅! 화이팅! Also so too, what's interesting about this is some people are like, oh my god, it looked great on the first session, why are we on a third session? To get it implicit, or to get it to where you don't have to think about certain things, and also if you want it to be clean, you have to do the time to work out all the kinks to make it that clean. There's no way around it. You can't just, everybody learn the choreo and everyone's all on the same page down to the degree of the hand. Do you know what I'm saying? Connection of the hands, knowing what the choreographer wanted from the jump. That's very rare you have that. And so even if you're established, like let's say 17, right? So when you have 17, they've been around for a long time. They've danced together for a long time. They've had a team of choreographers that they've used for a long time. So there's a lot of things that are expedited now where they don't have to have 7-hour rehearsals. They only have to have 3-hour rehearsals. Firstly, because of their scheduling, right? So they have to weigh the checks and balances on what's worth spending a ton of time on in the dance practices, whenever the schedule may call for being busy in other ways. That's a very real thing, especially the more established you are as a group or as an artist, right? Another thing to look at is the singability. So you're building up the stamina to know how to calibrate it to you, because people want live singing. It's coming back in fashion now, which is why I'm actually really happy Gen 2 groups are having comebacks, right? Because they are known for their stable vocals. It's so fun and fascinating to appreciate again. And as a Gen 2 fan, it's something I love, that having that nostalgia back in my K-pop feed, right? But all of this here, they're practicing how to get their body to do what it needs to do to stay clean with everybody, but also sing. That's important as an idol. You're a singer who dances, not a dancer who sings, right? Even though there's certain trends that people prioritize one over the other, at the end of the day, a K-pop idol is a singer who dances, okay? So that's why if they didn't sing, it'd be a dance crew, which is not what this is. So I'm really glad that we're taking the time to do this, because it really truly shows this is a very realistic example of, like, it's not an overnight thing, and doing it over a series of days in comparison to getting it all knocked out in one go is healthier for your brain too with processing, because it's not going to overwhelm it aggressively. So I'm really happy that we're seeing this. It's tedious. I'm glad that people see that it's probably very tedious. As somebody who does this with competition groups every day, it's not unfamiliar territory with me. I think it's really cool that I get validation for what I do by watching the professional, like a professional equivalence of it. It's really fun. I mean, professionally I do it too, but just working with professionals, I think, is my point. I work with pre-professionals. I noticed the diagonals are a little off there. Supersonic! Can't believe she's choosing to wear those shoes for this dance. That's how I felt with Soyeon from Idol. I was like, girl, you wearing naked wolves? Which are like this platforms. And I have like 2 pairs, so I understand that struggle.
마음 정말 아프다. 생각보다 접어야 돼. 진짜 그냥 정면이랑 그냥 정면이랑 생각해야 돼. 해보자. 한 1, 2분 되겠다. 열지만 있으면 다 돼.
5, 6, 7, 8 동기머리 뜨거운 손짓 한 번에 다수 숙여 맞아 이렇게
이 자리에서 한번 들어가 볼까요?
이제 9,
이 자리에서
8, 7, 6,
좋았어. 플러스 1.
4 그렇지 이렇게 와야 돼.
Look at him counting down. I'm telling you, there's nothing that gets a dancer faster in a position than just counting.
Yeah?
Counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
아빠
Flover.
저희 내일 울산 음악 중심 잘하고 오겠습니다. 파이팅!
파이팅.
마지막 연습을 마쳤는데요. 멤버들 자신 있죠? 네.
네.
자신 먼저 있습니다.
저희 지금 이것을 라이브 하러 가야 돼요.
맞아요. 안녕. 안녕.
안녕.
안녕.
다이어트 하시는 분들 슈퍼소닉 왕곡 추면 진짜 잘
See?
다리 잡아주세요.
하나, 둘, 셋.
That was cute. Tired one, tired two. No, we're tired. Go take a nap, ladies.
주원이 가져가야겠다.
That was really cute. I enjoyed that a lot. And I hope you guys did too. I like doing behind the scenes. I know a lot of people like hearing me talk through a behind the scenes because there's certain things that I can only talk about whenever we look at what's going on, not in front of the camera, or in front of the camera but not in front of it. Do you know what I mean? So I thoroughly enjoyed this. Jay's a real one as always, and I love being able to celebrate in this way. If you want to be part of the action like Jay, I don't just have just YouTube. I have Patreon, which is what a lot of these requests come from, and I have different tiers. I have one where you get access to literally anything I ever record, regardless if it makes its way onto YouTube or not. A lot of my stuff gets blocked, so if you're like, ugh, I want access to it all, that's perfect. And then also there are a couple other tiers, like in the pocket and on the flip side, where you have the privilege of requesting no matter what it is. I do have some stipulations, but like this, if that's something that interests you at all. So I am digging this. I love it. I am so delighted to have been able to take a look, as this being my first one with the group. This was really, really enjoyable. Y'all know me, I know you. I'm Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.